What's going on, you guys? This is New York Adventure 1994 here, and today is Saturday, October 11th, 2025. And what you look at right here is that we have a nor'easter approaching us tomorrow. The storm is supposed to come here tomorrow, and we're gonna be seeing a lot of heavy rain and high winds and a lot of coastal flooding. And what you're looking at right here is the map for the National Weather Service forecast office for New York City. This is the map right here, and it's showing all the warnings that's coming with this nor'easter for this map. And what you look at for Long Island is that we have a lot of coastal flood warnings and coastal flood advisories, and we have high wind warnings for the eastern end of Long Island and coastal New Jersey. This thing is gonna be a monster tomorrow, and it looks like Montauk is gonna take the brunt of this thing, as they're expected to get higher winds than us. I'm more west of these people, so I'm gonna be seeing less of the wind, unlike Montauk and Riverhead and all those other places along the forks of Long Island. And we have a storm warning in place for the water. And this nor'easter is going to be a beast tomorrow, with the eastern end looking to take the bigger brunt of this thing. And we also have a wind advisory in place right now, where we could see gusts up to 50 miles an hour. And places like the eastern end are looking at gusts of 60 miles an hour, maybe even 70, who knows. This thing is basically like a hurricane, guys. So, if you guys live in the Northeastern US or along the eastern seaboard, you need to be on high alert, and you need to make sure you're prepared right now, because things are going to get really ugly really quick tomorrow. And the storm effects are supposed to stick around from Sunday into Monday. And we could be seeing a lot of downed trees and power lines and a lot of coastal flooding. And this thing is really serious. This is a very serious situation right now. This thing is going to be a monster. And let's take a look at the headlines. So here's what's changed. A high wind warning is in effect for eastern Suffolk County. A wind advisory for all other locations. Coastal flood warnings for much of New York and New Jersey. And a coastal flood advisory for coastal Connecticut. There's widespread moderate to major coastal flooding for South Shore bays of Nassau and southwestern Suffolk counties during times of a high tide of Sunday into Monday. Widespread minor to moderate coastal flooding threat for the remainder of the coastline. Widespread dune erosion and localized overwashes along the Atlantic Ocean beaches. Damaging winds are expected across the eastern portions of Long Island Sunday p.m. into Monday p.m. Strong to locally damaging winds for the remainder of the coast. A long duration of rainfall with an average of 1.5 to 3 inches, with the highest amount near the coast areas to minor to urban and poor drainages. Flooding is likely. Storm to and gale conditions to the coastal waters. Strong to damaging winds. So, the east end has a high wind warning, where they look at gusts of 60 miles an hour. And damaging winds will blow down trees and scatter trees and power lines. And we're looking at gusts up to 50 miles an hour, which is still pretty bad. We have a wind advisory for this area. And these are the wind gusts. So yeah, it looks like Montauk is getting the worst of this thing. Getting the brunt. There were no hurricane force winds, thank goodness, but you don't want to let your guard down. Either way, all these winds right here could take down trees and power lines. And here's Monday's wind gusts. It's still really bad along Montauk and the eastern end. But it only improves just a little bit, but it's still really bad. Look at that. We could be seeing up to 3 inches of rain, especially for Montauk. These areas are going to get pounded with this nor'easter. Yeah, look at that. This is very serious, you guys. Expected areas of flood impact. Yeah, these areas are going to get pounded tomorrow into Monday. Major coastal flooding. It's really bad up to Montauk Highway. Look at the areas near JFK. It's going to be really bad. And here's the event summary. It has almost all the same stuff as the first one shows. So this is the coastal flood warning. Moderate coastal flooding expected. And there will be breaking waves of 3 to 6 feet along the immediate shoreline will result in significant beach erosion, splash over seawalls and bulkheads, excavating flooding or shoreline roads and properties. Minor damage is possible to waterfront structures. A high wind warning is in effect from noon Sunday to 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday. Northeast winds of 25 to 40 miles an hour with gusts up to 60 miles an hour expected. Damaging winds will blow down trees and power lines. Power outages are expected. Travel will be difficult, especially for high-profile vehicles. Avoid windows during the windstorm for falling debris and tree limbs. Use caution if you must drive. Yeah, this is a very serious situation right here. This storm is going to be a monster, guys. So it's going to be bad for the Cape also. There's also coastal flood advisories for this area. But it looks like Long Island's taking the worst for this thing. Yeah, it says the same for Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. There's also a high wind warning there. It looks like Boston's being spared the worst of this thing, which is unlikely with other nor'easters because they tend to get hit harder than New York. But the nor'easter is farther south and more closer to New York than it is in Massachusetts. So this is very, very bad right here. So if you guys live in these areas, you need to be on high alert and you need to make sure you guys have everything you need. Be prepared for heavy rain and high winds and a lot of coastal flooding. And make sure you have everything you need. And I guess that's it. Bye.